Today's topic of discussion is red flags in women. So right now in today's society, there's a lot of beta males who are wifing up all these promiscuous women. They're putting rings on their fingers, treating them like goddesses, and they're getting violated on a day-to-day basis. So in this video, we're going to be discussing some key points in terms of how to spot certain red flags in a woman and how to effectively filter them. So first point is social media. Now I'm going to play this 30-second clip of a promiscuous woman doing craziness on social media. So I'll play it now for you guys.
Look good, Mr. Armstrong. Armstrong. You kill me, boy. So lights out.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
No, I don't want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't like, I don't care about, I like tangible goods.
Not.
I don't like, I don't care about, I look good.
Okay, so you guys are back now. You've had a watch of it. Now, as you saw from that video, you saw how disgusted that woman was with her husband. Now, you guys can imagine what their relationship is like behind closed doors. Completely toxic. Now, you saw with that woman, right? She was literally getting turned off anytime that guy was around her. You know, she ain't got no love, no respect for him. The only thing she cares about is tangible assets. Now, for guys in today's society, they seem to be comfortable with giving all of their money to promiscuous women. Women who are treating them as ATM machines. And they don't have no self-respect for themselves. You know, this is what the issue is. When guys aren't filtering women from the get-go. Now, I bet you guys any money with that woman, if you was to check her social media, scroll through it, she's posting all these photos and videos of lifestyle, how she's going on all these holidays, she's buying all these materialistic things, and when they were getting to know each other, she was just asking him questions about how much money he's making. You know, so when guys aren't picking up on these red flags, they're not seeing how this woman here, she's just interested in my money. She's not interested in anything else. So job title, money, what you can provide for her, how you can satisfy her. It's always about her. You know, so when guys dismiss these signs and they think, oh, she's just looking for a provider and protector, it's not as simple as that. You know, because when you're with somebody like that, who's literally just a liability, somebody who you're just constantly trying to please and satisfy. It's like getting a car right, putting petrol in. You're putting all this petrol in the car and it's not filling up. You know, these people here are literally just liabilities. You know, so when it comes to social media, right, in today's time, it actually reveals a lot about a person's character and information. It will give you a lot of information about what type of person they are. So if, for example, you see a woman, she's going to all these different places across the world every other week. She ain't got no husband, nobody who's with her, no mahram, who's a guardian, protector. Who do you think's paying for all that? Because it ain't her. That's for definite. So what's happening is, these women here are literally doing all types of craziness. Selling feet photos, feet pics. Going on these OnlyFans type websites. And just making money from it. And then what they do is they plaster on all this makeup each and every single day. They push out all this content. And then they get these guys, these suckers, to just send them money. Now the worst ones are the supposed Muslim couples who are trying to pretend that they're happy, they are satisfied, they are in a loving relationship. And they're promoting all this haram activity. And then what they do is they get other people to buy their products and services. So if you, for example, click on their links in, let's say, Instagram or TikTok, you'll get sent to another website. And they're charging crazy prices on there, 50, 100, 200 pounds plus. For certain outfits, garments, you name it. Now, that's what the issue is, when people nowadays are selling their deen for money. So when it comes to net worth, right? Net worth is going to fluctuate throughout your life. But your self-worth should never fluctuate. Your self-worth should remain as a steady line. Because what's happening is now people can be bought by money. So if you was to throw 10k at somebody, 100k, you name it, at somebody. So let's say when it comes to mahar, 50k, 100k. Who do these people think that they are? So if you're asking for 50k, 100k, what are you going to do with that money? Chances are they're going to buy some stupidness with it. You get a small minority of women in today's time who actually don't prioritize external tangible things. But a lot of them have been conditioned through social media to think, we need to live this glamorous lifestyle in order to be happy. This is completely untrue. So, next point is dad. Now, these girls, right, who are all over social media, posting all these promiscuous photos and videos. Who do you think has allowed that type of behavior? Their dads. The dads don't have no protection over their daughters anymore. They haven't given them the guidance, training, taught them that there's certain threats and dangers on social media. Now, certain women are getting coerced into sending inappropriate photos on social media. Now, especially with AI technology nowadays. So, I want to give this little background story. I'm not going to go into too much details. But there was a certain sister who was coming on my TikTok lives. And she had a back and forth with somebody. And then that other person, he ended up creating an AI photo of another guy basically behind her. And then she's in like a bra top. I mean, it's just sickening how AI has gone so far now. It's creating all these type of photos and videos of people. So it's really important you guys are really careful about what you post on social media. The photos, videos. And you teach that to the women as well. Because women, they shouldn't be posting any photos on videos on social media for all these guys to look at them. That's what the issue is. It's because dads haven't taught them these things. And if the dad has given certain reminders here and there, guess what? They're going to be getting corrupted by their friends, other classmates. They're going to feel like they're left out. These promiscuous women have gained so much power and control over society. They're literally corrupting all these other sisters. All these other women who are trying to do their best. So when it comes to being a dad, which there's not many dads unfortunately in today's time, it's really important you guys assess that relationship. Assess what the relationship is like with her dad, what the relationship is like with her mum and her dad. Oftentimes that gets dismissed as well. So if you saw, for example, her mum barking orders at the dad, doesn't have no respect for him, treats him like a doormat, then chances are she's going to do the same to you. Because it's been normalized in her house. She's thinking, this is what a relationship looks like. Woman just gives the orders to a man. And then he just pays for everything. And you just disrespect it. So make sure you guys check those relationships beforehand, because majority of guys aren't doing this. So next point is expectations. Now, some sisters, practicing sisters and non-practicing sisters, or just women in general, they have certain expectations of a relationship. Some of them are at complete delusional level. They're saying, we need to be traveling every month. We need to go out there and get more experiences. The man needs to pay for everything, and I can do my own work. And then the man is going to be taking care of the household as well. He's going to be taking care of the kids. Because if he doesn't want to take care of the kids, then we're going to throw them into daycare centers. I mean, these are the type of conversations, if you lot have had these with certain women, some of them are just complete crackpots. They think that it's okay to just throw their kids into daycare centers. And then they're trying to prioritize their careers. Now, what happened to the women who want to be mums? What is that? Is that not good enough in today's time? For a woman to have 3, 4, 5 kids and then try and look after them as a full-time job. People are literally shaming that. She's got 4, 5, 6 kids plus that she wants to raise, nurture, teach them the deen, teach them good morals, help them become upstanding citizens in society. People they don't care about that. A lot of women nowadays, they're not interested in that. They're just interested in themselves. Now, it's not all women. You will get a minority of women in today's time in the West where they will prioritize motherhood and they will prioritize family and children. They've got this genuine femininity. They've got the nurturing side of them where they want to look after kids. They want to have kids. Now, how many women in today's time do you hear saying, I want to have kids after marriage. I want to prioritize being a mum. You don't really hear that. So, final point is history. Now, whether people like it or they don't like it, a woman who's slept around the whole block, good luck with trying to make her a housewife or a woman who's a traditional mum. You're not going to be able to get her to do anything. She's just so damaged. She's been with so many different guys. She's had all these boyfriends, all these haram relationships. She can't form a solid, healthy attachment to one guy. They need to speak to multiple men in order to feel satisfied. They need to get bits of attention from several guys because one guy makes them bored. So when it comes to a woman's history, check in with a character reference, finding out from other sets of people who know her, so family, her friends, other people in the community. Now, when you look at her history, if she's been a good girl, she has tried her best when it comes to deen, good morals, good character. She listens to her mum and dad. She's not outside on the streets, driving around in BMWs, M4s and stuff like that, and smoking the vapes. No, she's not doing none of that. She's not out there loose out on the streets. That's how you know you've come across a good girl. But a lot of these girls nowadays are so thick. They'll post that nonsense on TikTok, on Instagram, for attention and views. But they don't realize when they're posting that stuff, the man that they want ain't going to be interested anymore. He's going to see that as a red flag. He's going to see that as, this woman here is loose out in the streets. I ain't going to go near her. But obviously that's the smart guys. Guys have got a bit of brain. Obviously you got the beta males. They'll be like, oh, it's 1 or 2 red flags. I'll just dismiss it. And then later on it comes back to bite them in the flipping backside. Bite them in the arse. That's what happens when you just dismiss certain red flags. You know full well that this person here was doing wild activity, but you said to yourself, I'll dismiss it. I'll give her another chance. Now, oftentimes these behaviors reoccur in the future. Until they ask for sincere forgiveness, until they delete all that nonsense from social media. Then a person can move forward, and then it's a clean slate. But when it comes to, for example, virginity, if you lose it, you can't get it back. Some of these Muslim speakers, they're saying, a woman can ask for repentance and she's still a non-virgin. I mean, what sort of dangerous narrative are these jokers trying to push out there? You can ask for forgiveness from God, but that doesn't make you a non-virgin. That doesn't make you a virgin woman again. Once you lose your virginity, once you've had boyfriends, you can't get that back. So guys, whoever's watching this, don't fall for the traps of modern day women. Certain times they may gaslight you. They may say that, my past is my past. I'm a new person. I've changed. I'm celibate now. You don't need to take on any of that. You ain't trying to hear none of that. Just chuck her to the side of the curb. Don't bother trying to marry these type of women. Because if you end up marrying them, you're going to join the other guys who are amongst 50% divorce rates. So, just to wrap up, social media will tell you a good amount of information about certain promiscuous women. Some of these promiscuous women are so bait, so obvious. They got high followers. If you go through their photos, they've got all these beta males in the comment section. She's got all these promiscuous photos out there for guys to look at her in a dirty sexual way. You don't want those type of women. Women who are traveling to 100+ countries in a year. Don't go near them. Because if you do, you know full well what's going to happen. Just know what you're signing up for. That beta male, like the guy in the video. How that guy there, he's probably begging for intimacy. She's got him on his knees. Rinse his assets, take his house, business, you name it. And then just kick him to the side. And the next one after that was that. The reason why women are behaving loose out on the streets in today's time is because we have weak dads. If men were doing their actual duties and they were taking care of their responsibilities, women by default would fall in line. Right now we're seeing a direct reaction to how men are behaving. It's because we got weak men in society, and then that's created masculine women. That's what happens when you ain't got a strong dad at home. A solid dad who's teaching you guidance, direction, purpose, mission. Guys, dads aren't doing this. The next one after that was expectations. It's really important you ask a woman what her expectations are of marriage. If she's looking for a better male provider, a guy just to pay all her bills, she's not saying how she can provide value to your life. She ain't interested in providing value to your life. She sees herself as a prize. She sees herself as worth 50k maher. This woman is crazy. Some of these women are so delusional. You think a guy in the right mind would pay for that? Why would he pay a woman who's lost her virginity, materialistic, somebody who's just looking for an ATM machine? Some men have got self-respect for themselves. Some people can afford to pay 50k, but do they want to? No. Why am I going to dish out that kind of money to a promiscuous woman who's just trying to look for an ATM machine? So you guys here, you want to be the same as well. You want a woman to love you for who you are as a person. You don't need 100, 200, 1,000 women to like you and want to marry you, XYZ. If you've got 1 or 2 women who are actually of quality, that's more than enough. You don't need to waste your time with the other sets of women who aren't on the same page. And the final point was history. It's really important you look at her history. What's her mileage like? Is it done 50k miles? Has it done 100k miles? Is it a Cat C, Cat D car? The history is important. It's really important. So guys who are dismissing this they're thinking, oh, she's repented, she's asked for forgiveness, but she's lost her virginity, she's been with 50 plus guys. I mean, come on. People need some common sense. Now, don't try and marry a promiscuous woman, because it ain't going to end well for you guys. So, I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.